All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone for teaching us His truth to rule well. All right, I want to open up with Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6. And it's going to be verse 17. Like that. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6. And let me actually start up at verse 1. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 1. Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Learn ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. All right, and where do we see that? This is Psalms chapter 2. It's a lot. Psalms chapter 2, Salakia. Psalms chapter 2, and let me see. Psalms 2 and 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The king of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away the cords from us. All right. So now that we're coming back to our power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you have these heathen, all right, these people of these other nations that are going to try and gather themselves together like they're doing right now and try to break up what we have. All right, the same thing whenever Israel was building the second temple. All right, whenever Israel was building the second temple, what did the heathen do? All right, they either try to join us or separate us from making that temple, man. All right, they wanted to be a part of the salvation. All right, they wanted to be a part of that Israelite heritage. All right, but we turned them down. You know, we turned them down when we built the second temple, and also they try to, since they couldn't join us, they try to defeat us. You know that old saying: if you can't join them, if you can't beat them, join them. The heathen tried that. They tried to beat us, and they couldn't. And when they saw they couldn't beat us, they tried to join us, and they still couldn't. All right, because the promises are for Israel. You know, that's who it all pertains to. So it says, verse 2, Psalms 2 and 2, the kings and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed. You see? The kings of the earth, they're going to try and come up against you, man. You know? They're going to try and find fault. They're going to try and trick people to have you find fault. And by now they know, all right, that they can't join us. They can't join us. So the only thing that's left is try to destroy us. All right, but fear not them that destroy the body, but fear him that can destroy body and soul. All right, which is the Most High. It says, Psalms 83. Let me go to that one. Psalms 30. Psalms 83. This is Psalms 83 and 3. So like it, Psalms 83 and 1. A song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O my God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lift up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarins, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, and the inhabitants of Tyre, or Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot, Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as unto Caesarea, as to Jabin, and to the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. You see? So that's the same thing that's going to happen to these nations that are going to try and come up against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You know? There's no new thing under the sun, as Ecclesiastes says. You know? History repeats itself. And why is that? Because these people keep getting reincarnated back into this earth. You know? Same thing with the prophets. The prophets of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai have always been. You know? So, if you were born before Yahushai and you were a prophet, all right, because you didn't believe in the name Yahushai because you didn't know it yet, does that mean that you're not saved? You know? According to the scriptures, you're not saved unless you believe in Yahushai. Under no name in heaven, all right, can you be saved but by the name of Yahushai? You know? You have to know the name of the Most High and of Yahushai. So what happened to the prophets of old? They're here right now believing in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You know? So it says, let me see, where am I going? I'll go to this one after. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, and verse 2. Give ear, you that rule the people, and the glory in the multitude of nations. All right, because in verse 1, it talked about the kings of the earth. All right, so back at Psalms chapter 2 and verse 3, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, Yahweh shall have them in derision. All right, that word derision means laugh to scorn. All right, to mock or to ridicule. You know, the Most High is gonna laugh at your destruction, man. I believe that's the book of Joel chapter 2 also. You know, the Most High shall laugh at your destruction. You know, so it says, verse 5, then shall he speak to them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. All right, and that word vex there means to terrify. All right, he shall terrify them in his sore displeasure. You know, so vexing can either be to disturb, dismay, or to terrify. You know, it says, yet have I set my king upon my holy mountain Zion. All right? And the Zion are the elect. You know, the holy mountain Zion are the elect, which means a monumental or like a statue, you know? Like Elder Kazak had made a video the other day talking about the statue of Christopher Columbus over there in Mexico, all right, Mexico City, was taken down, you know? It was taken down by Israelites because they believed that that statue represented oppression, all right? That statue represented wickedness, evil, you know? And they didn't want to feel oppression, all right? And there was a Jake lady, all right, Issacharite woman, that was speaking, and she said, we need statues that are going to represent freedom. We need statues that are going to represent righteousness, all right? And the Elder Kazak mentioned that Zion means a statue, all right? So the elect are that statue. The elect are those monuments of righteousness. You see? I'm not saying that they're perfect, all right, but they're doing the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai on the right-hand side, which is to wake up Israel, you know? So it says, verse 7, I will declare the decree. Yahweh hath said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the outermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron, thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. All right, I just saw a video of another brother. All right, I had subscribed to him, but I never really watched his videos. You know, I usually watch, you know, the elders, all right, which I believe he's an elder as well. But you know, he was talking about his woman had a vision, you know, a vision of the night. In your sleep, that's when we receive instruction by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and she received a vision. And in that vision, it was talking about, that brother was talking about how men are gonna creep into this truth, you know, for wicked sake, for wickedness sake, you know, and they're gonna deceive multitudes of people, man, you know. So this is Job 9:24 to back up what we just read. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? All right, because we just read, be instructed, be well instructed, ye judges. All right, ye kings, be well instructed, ye kings, and ye judges of the earth. You know, so if the wicked is going to be covering their faces, what does that mean? That means those are the people that are going to be judged by the nations and hated by the people. You know, the same thing that happened in the book of Ezra chapter 1, Ezra chapter 1 and verse 51 and verse 50. Nevertheless, the Most High of their fathers sent by his messenger to call them back, because he spared them and his tabernacle also. All right, sent by his messengers, his prophets, to call them back. All right, when you call someone back into being a son, what does that mean? That means you adopted. All right, you know, that's what the adoption is talking about, man. You know, the adoption belongs to the Israelites. You know, it's not just everybody in the world, man. You know, because the Israelites are going to try and, the Zion is going to try and get out of this world, man. You know, I have a memory. It was probably, I want to say maybe maybe half a year before I came into this truth. I was trying to get delivered, man. I had no knowledge, no wisdom, no understanding. All right, but I knew Yahweh Hashem Yahushua was going to come from the sky. All right? And I felt like this world was just done, man. I was done with it. I still am, But now I'm pushing for a better cause, all right, than I was back then. But I remember looking up into the stars at night. It was probably somewhere close to 8, maybe closer to 10. And I looked up into the sky, and it was all black and a bunch of stars, man. And I clenched my fists and I closed my eyes, and I hoped, that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua would just pick me up. And that would be it for me, man. Going into the heavens. And that's what I would always think that way, man. So when I came into this truth, all right, and I learned about these things, I know it's not going to happen whenever I want it. It's going to happen whenever Yahweh Hashem Yahushua wills it. Like Yahweh Shai said, now my will be done, but your will be done. Talking to the Most High Yahweh. So, in this life, man, we're going to hate it. Zion is going to try and get the hell out of here, man. We're not going to try and stick around, and man, I really love my life, man. I really want to stay here. You may be, either an assistant manager or manager or moving up in that ranks. And that's fine. You're not sinning. But for you to love money and to love this world means to be in enmity against the Most High, man. If you love this world, you're in enmity against the Most High. That means you hate the Most High. That means you're going to try and fight against the Most High, man. And it's not going to end well for you, according to the book of Ezra. Verse 51. Verse Ezra 1 and 51. But they had his messengers in derision, all right, which means ridicule, mockery, all right. And what are they doing now with the men at Great Millstone? Ridicule, man. Mockery is nothing but a bunch of mockery and ridicule to the prophets of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. Because we wear these garments, because we go out to the highways and the byways, seemingly speaking to no one, all right, but those vibrations go out, man. Those vibrations that you speak really go out, and I've seen it. I've seen it happen, man, and I've also heard it, and I've heard testimonies, so I believe in this truth, man, wholeheartedly. So it says, but they that had his messengers in derision, which again means ridicule or mockery, it says, and look, when the Lord spake unto them, they made a sport of his prophets. All right? That's what they're doing now, man. Calling us bums, get a job. We all have jobs, man. We know what's necessary for life. We don't live under a fucking bridge, man. They look at us different because of the truth that we bring. All right? Because of what we represent, which, by the way, Shabbat Shalom, all right, because today is a Sabbath day, all right, but these heathen, they don't understand that even, something like the Sabbath, they don't understand, man. Even a lot amongst Israel, they don't understand, You have the Sabbath, which comes in on a new moon, according to the book of Amos, all right, according to the book of Deuteronomy, and many more scriptures. You have the Sabbath come in on a new moon, all right? So from evening of that night before to the evening of the next day, that's one whole day. 7 days after that, from the evening to the, from the evening, from sunset to the next day sunset, all right, that's another Sabbath. And then 7 days after that, all right, that's another Sabbath. 7 days after that, that's another Sabbath. That's 4. All right, there's 4 weeks in a month. All right, and that word month goes after the word moon. You know, so there's 4 weeks in a moon. Why? Because then there's a new moon. So then you wait for the new moon. All right, 7 days after that, sometimes 8. On the 8th day, you'll have that new moon. Then there's a new Sabbath. 7 days, 7 days, 7 days. All right, your new moon, new Sabbath, 7 days, 7 days, 7 days. You know, and that's how it just keeps going, man. Usually skips a day. You know, it's usually a day after. You see? But our days start at sunset, at evening. When the sun goes down, that's a new day. You see? But something simple like that, you're going to have Israelites that are going to try and buck up. No, brother, the new moon is on a full moon. That's not a new moon. That's a full moon. You know? Elder Apostle Tahar made a video the other day about the Sabbath. And even something simple like you can't have sex on the Sabbath. All right? You shouldn't try and do your own pleasure on a Sabbath. You know? And he said there's some things that are excusable. You're not supposed to buy on a Sabbath. You're not supposed to sell on a Sabbath. All right, but there's certain things that are excusable. That's where mercy comes in. You know? Even something simple like that, hard-headed Negroes, all right? And that goes for the Latinos and the Native Americans as well, for the Israelites scattered abroad. If you don't want to believe it, then that's fine, man. You don't have to believe it. You know, because it's not for everybody. Like it says in the book of Romans. I believe it's chapter 11. You know? It's not for everyone, man. You know? Yahweh Hashem Yahushai set it up that way. So it says, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, and verse 3. For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest, who shall try your works and search out your counsels. All right? So he's going to try your works, man. He's going to try you. All right? Like gold is tried in the fire. When it's a golden ore, all right, it's going to be tried in the fire. All right? O-R-E, ore, golden ore. That means it has impurities. All right? And when it's tried in the fire, what's going to happen? It's going to melt away the impurities. All right? Because gold has a higher melting point. All right? So when all the impurities are melted away, all right, then you melt the gold. And then you have either a golden brick, all right? But it's going to be out of pure gold. You know? A refined gold. And that's what's happening to the elect. They're being refined. All right? From the greatest unto the least. You know? So you're being tried as you're in this truth, man. You know? Something that may not have hit you before, all right? About certain... you know, certain level of demons. You know, you might come in and you're keeping whatever you can, the little bit you have, and you're doing perfect. And as you grow in this truth, there's more things that start coming abroad, man. You know, like the book of Sirach, chapter 24, it tells you about, I water my best garden, and lo, my river became a brook, and my brook became a sea. You know? That's how it is. You know? It's a lot easier to maneuver yourself in a river, all right, and to see the other side and be comforted by that in a river than it is to be in the sea. You know, when you're out in the vast sea, man, you're scared. You don't see anything but water. You know? You don't see anything but water. Knowing that there's big fish, all right? Knowing that there's waves that can take you down. And if you don't know how to maneuver in those waters, and if you don't know how to swim, you're going to drown. All right? You're going to get hurt. You know? So the Most High is going to try you in order to increase you. I'm going to try you with this. Once you pass this test, onto another test. And it's little baby steps, man. You know? That's why we're still considered babes. you know, some more than others, like myself, you know, because it takes baby steps, you know, in order to get up to the top, you know. So it says, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 and verse 4, because being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of the Most High. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places. For mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty man shall be mightily tormented. All right, mighty men shall mightily be tormented, you know. So if you're in this truth and you're not doing it for a righteous cause, which is the kingdom of heaven, the elect to serve Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai in the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh. All right? If you're not doing it for the right things, you're going to be exposed, or you're going to wax worse and worse. All right? Like scripture say, the love of many has waxed worse and worse, man. You know? Which is another reason why you should always pray. All right? You should pray for the elect. Pray for the people of the Most High. Pray for the brothers. You know? That's something that you constantly got to be praying for, man. Praying for yourself as well. You know? The brothers, the elect, yourself. Because you don't know what kind of torments a brother might go through, man. You know? And the Most High may have it that way to try that brother. You know? And the best you could do is just hope. All right? The best the elect can do is have faith and hope. That's the best the elect can do, man. You know? We can't take things into our own hands. The prophets didn't do it back then. We're not going to do it now. You know? The angels may help us with certain things. You know? But that's the will of the Most High. So continuing on, it says, verse 7, for he which is Lord over all shall fear no man's person, neither shall he stand in awe of any man's greatness, for he hath made the small and great, and careth for all alike. But a sore trial shall come upon the mighty. Upon you therefore, O kings, do I speak, that ye may learn wisdom and not fall away. All right? So this is for the elect, so that you can learn this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding, and not fall away from the graces of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right? Because look what happened to our people. You know? Starting from the early 1400s, man, until now. Look what's happened to our people, man. We turned away from the Most High, and we got destroyed, man. We got destroyed as a nation, as tribes, as a people. And that was all done by the heathen, all right? But it was going through the will of the Most High, all right? Because nothing goes against the will of the Most High. He creates the good, he creates the bad, all right? He creates the evil, you know? Those blessings that you receive, he does it, you know? Those bad things that happen to you, he does it. He does it all. It's all done through him, you know? So if he's telling you, look, be instructed, all right, you judges and you kings of the earth, which is the brothers, all right, starting from the elder Tahar on down, all right, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. You know, that's what scripture is talking about, man. You know? And it explains to you here that it's for the elect. Let me read that again. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 and verse 9. Unto you therefore, O kings, do I speak, that ye may learn wisdom and not fall away. All right, so those are the steps that the elect are going to be taking, man. You know, we always say it, the elect are going to be doing elect things. You know, if you're part of the elect, you're going to try and change your ways, man. You're going to have that remorse, all right, for the things that you've done. You know, you're going to want to have another way out. You're not going to love the world. All right, you're going to love the Most High. You're going to try and get out of here. You're going to try and be on his good side. You're going to try and please him. All right? you're going to be doing the best that you can, all right, to make it into the kingdom of heaven. You see? So to those people do we speak to. We're not speaking to you 2/3. All right? We're not talking to you. We're not trying to convince you into coming into this truth. All right? We're just here to wake up the elect. All right? Which usually, all right, is of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know, because we do have people scattered abroad calling themselves French. All right? And they look like so-called white men. You know? Which are the Edomites. All right? But those are Israelites. You know, you have a lot of Italians. You know, I used to watch these shows, kind of like Grease, you know, type of deal. These songs that I used to listen to, old school songs. You know, I would have some songs and I would see some that would be dancing out there, some Edomite looking people. And they would be on it, man. You know, they would be dancing according to the song, to the way the beat moves, the way they move in synchrony, you know? And I would always wonder, like, yo, what kind of Edomites are those, you know? What kind of Edomites dance that way, man? You know, what kind of Edomites act like Israelites to the perfection? Well, the answer is they're not Edomites, all right? They're actually Israelites, you know? And the elder apostle Gabar explained that to me, that in ancient times, what they used to do is they would grab Israelites from Italy that look like Edomites, bring them over here, put them in shows, because the Edomites couldn't dance. So they would get people that look like them that could dance, which were who? Israelites. All right, so those songs, those badass songs that you would jam to that look like Edomites, all right, those badass Edomites dancing out there, you know, those were Jakes, man, you know. So our people are scattered abroad, all right, so this message goes out to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and to the scattered abroad that are likened unto the speckled bird, all right, because they may look like other nations, you know, but in reality their spirit testifies with our spirit that they are children of the Most High, you know. So it says, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 and verse 10, for they that keep holiness holily shall be judged holy, and they that have learned such things shall find what to answer. You see? So we're going to have the answers pretty soon, you know. All we got to do is just keep going through that straight gate, that straight path, that narrow path, you know. So it says, verse 11, wherefore set your affection upon my words and desire them, and ye shall be instructed. You see? Therefore set yourself against my words, and ye shall be instructed. You know? Just like Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 says, you know? For the kings, the judges of the earth be instructed. This is Isaiah. Salakia, I'm way out. Isaiah 30. Yep, that was the wrong one. Where was it at? 28. Salakia. Slipped my mind for a second. This is Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. Now let me go back and read that again. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 and verse 10. For they that keep holiness holily shall be judged wholly, and they that have learned such things shall find what to answer. Wherefore set your affection upon my words, desire them, and ye shall be instructed. All right? So it says, who shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he teach understanding? So this is 2 Peter. Peter chapter 2. 1 Peter chapter 2. If I can get to it. This is 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and guile and hypocrisies and envies and evil speakings. All right, scriptures say not to envy your oppressor. All right, you have a bunch of jakes out here painting themselves with blonde hair, you know, bleaching their skin, talking like them, walking like them, trying to be like them, trying to be associated with them. You know, that's not what the Most High is about, man. Don't envy your oppressors. All right? They try to go after their religion, try to stand up for them. All right? Why trimmest thou thy ways, man? You know? The book of Romans explains that to you. You know? Israel's been trimming their ways, trying to be appealing to the heathen. This isn't for the heathen, this is for the elect. And the elect are not going to give a shit about this stuff, man. You know? They're not going to care about the stuff of the world. They're going to be minding Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So it says, verse 2, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. If so be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious. All right, desiring the sincere milk of the word. You know, in the book of Isaiah says, Isaiah 28 and 9, whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? All right, so now it goes into doctrine, into knowledge, this wisdom. It says, them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breasts. All right, those that are weaned to this milk, this word is likened unto milk. All right, and like I mentioned earlier, we are babes. So we're weaned to this milk, man. We're weaned to the breasts of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You know, obviously I'm not literally talking, all right, breasts, because you have some simple people out there. You know, I'm talking about this word, his word, his ministry. It says, verse 10, for precept must be upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, for with stammering lips and with another tongue will he speak to his people. All right? So we're speaking in different tongues now, man. English is not Hebrew. Spanish is not Hebrew. French, Dutch, that's not Hebrew. All right? We're speaking in different languages to reach out to his people that have been scattered through the four corners of the earth. You know? Which actually brings me to this one. Let me see if I can find it. Salakia. This is Acts chapter 10. Acts chapter 10 and verse 26. But Peter took him up, saying, Stand up, I myself also am a man. And as he talked with them, he went in and found many that were come together. And he said unto them, Ye know that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. All right. Now the word heathen or Gentiles means nations. All right. Gentiles means nation. When you go into the word gente, which means people, all right, gente is similar to Gentiles. All right. And it's spelled similar. All right. Gente is people. Gentiles is nations. You see? That doesn't mean necessarily that it's only people of outside of Israel. All right? Outside of the nation of the people of Israel. All right? We were considered heathen at one point too, calling ourselves American. You know? So it says to keep company or come unto one of another nation. But the Most High has showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. All right. So that word nation is Strong's G246, which is alophilos. Alophilos, that's the Greek word, which means foreign. All right. Strong's G242 is allos. All right, which means another. Strong's G5443 is phile, which means tribe. All right, of another tribe. You know, which goes into the scattered of Israel. You had Judah, Benjamin, and Levi predominantly that would call themselves Jews. That word Jews is a byword. All right, the word Jews is a byword because that's what they would call the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. But then you had 10 tribes, all right, that after the northern, that was sent to Assyria, all right, to serve in captivity, all right. They took counsel together according to the second book of Ezra, chapter 13. All right, they took counsel together that they should go to another land where no man had dwelt before, which is where? The Americas. That's why they're called Native Americans. All right, native means to be here, all right, from the beginning. You know, you were the first people here. You were the natives here. All right, so that's where they came. They came to the Americas. All right, and it says that the Most High held the waters still. You know, you have historians looking at that and saying, you know what, the Native Americans couldn't have made it here because of their ships that they made and this and that, and you know, they didn't have the superpower ships like they have, you know, nowadays, or like Christopher Columbus. They didn't have those superpower ships, you know, heavy ships that are made for long distances, you know, and that's true. All right, but when they crossed through the ocean, they didn't do it through super heavy ships. All right, they did it by the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai. You know, the Most High held still the waters. That means there was no trouble for them to get here, man. You know, there wasn't any storms. They weren't being rocked to and fro. All right, the waters were still. They were perfect. You see? So no matter what type of low-level technology they say that they had, if the waters were perfectly still, there was no sharks, there wasn't any storms bothering them, all right, then they were able to make it here. You know, that's why to the heathen, it's still a mystery how the Native Americans made it here. And they say, well, it could be from the Ice Age. Everything was completely frozen. All right, so they had to walk across the northern America, settle down in Canada, and then come down through Canada all the way down to South America. All right, but that ain't even how it went, man. The Most High held still the waters, and they came over here in ships. All right? So it says, but yeah, that's what it means, you know? In the book of Acts, chapter 10, you had Israelites that were calling themselves heathen or Gentiles, all right? And you had Israelites that were calling themselves Jews, you know? Because Judah and Israel, all right, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, they split, man. You know? When you split with somebody, when you're left on bad terms and you split, all right, you're not going to look back and say, man, I want salvation for those brothers too, you know? And that's how they looked at the northern kingdom, because the northern kingdom wanted to be like the heathen, you know? And then eventually Judah also wanted to be like the heathen, you know? Some of Judah, I should say. Where is it? It's the book of Ezekiel 20 and 32. Just to prove that point. Ezekiel 20 and 32. And it reads, and that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all, that ye say, we will be as the heathen, as families and the countries, to serve wood and stone. All right, and that's what you had Israelites wanting to be like the heathen. They wanted to serve wood, they wanted to serve stone. They didn't want to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right, because the gods that they created, all right, they would let them do whatever they want. Why? Because the dumb idols, they're dumb idols. All right, they can't tell you anything. All right, they can't save you. They can't chasten you. You know? So they went after the ways of those dumb idols, knowing that you were once Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols. You know? That's what that means. They wanted to be like the heathen. We don't want to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's too hard. You know? We have to remember when the Sabbath day is. That's too hard for us. And that's how you have a bunch of simple jakes that are out there, man. You know? So if Elder Apostle Tahar puts out a decree, 3 videos a week, all right, including you going out, and you don't want to do it, it's too hard for me. I'm going to go serve another God. That's how you had people. You had people doing that back then. You had Israelites, all right, that wanted to be like the heathen. Why? Because they didn't want to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. They didn't want to follow after the Most High. They didn't want to keep the Sabbath days, the high holy days. It was too hard for them, all right? So they were complaining, murmuring. That's the same thing that happened when we were led out of Egypt. You had 2/3 of our people murmuring, complaining. Are we almost there yet? Are we still out here? Did he just bring us out here so we can die of thirst? I'm thirsty. Being a bunch of little bitches, man. You know? And that's why the Most High is going to cut off 2/3 of Israel. You know? Because you want to be like the heathen, you're going to fall like the heathen, man. All right? But that thing about you serving wood and stone like the heathen, it's not going to happen. All right? It's not going to happen. The Most High decreed it, and it's not going to happen. All right? Why? Because in Jeremiah 31 and 31, it tells you that all Israel, all right, eventually in the kingdom of heaven, all Israel will follow Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in perfection. All right? And to the letter, man. Perfection. You know? That means that through the elect, the 2/3 are going to be brought back in the kingdom, all right, through the seed line, and they're going to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So that thing that they thought in their minds, I want to be like the heathen, it's not going to come to pass. The Most High has a thing coming for you, man. All right? Either you serve him or you serve him. That's it, point blank, period. There's no other way around it. You know? So back in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6, and that's why in verse 5 it says, horribly and speedily shall he come upon you. All right, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places. You know? So speedily and horribly he's going to come upon you 2/3, man. You know? Because you are the house of Israel. You see? But like scripture say, this only pertains to the elect, to Zion. All right? We're not worried about the 2/3. We're not worried about the heathen. All right? We're worried about waking up the elect. You see?